Well, howdy, everyone, and welcome to What's the Scenario with PLRB, where we always explore claims and coverage scenarios that are relevant to all insurance professionals. I'm Mike Brode, Vice President of the Meetings and Education Team here at the PLRB, and today I have the pleasure of being joined by Brennan McLaughlin, our Education Counsel here at PLRB. So, as always, we start with What's the Scenario? Today, we have a general contractor that installs a commercial storefront window system. Because the flashing is installed incorrectly, rainwater enters the building during the first storm. The building owner sues the contractor, seeking the cost to remove and replace the defective window system and repair the water-damaged drywall and flooring inside. The contractor tenders this suit to their CGL carrier. Fascinating. But before we jump into that, Brennan, why don't we turn over to the old deck page, where today we're going to talk about this. So with our homes, our humble homes, have we ever had any faulty workmanship type related claims that we've dealt with as a homeowner? I'll let you go first, sir.
Well, I once had somebody had them work on a clogged sink, and they went around to the nearby bedroom and cut a hole through the closet to get to the stuff and never fixed the hole. So it's fine, I guess. We got like a panel now, right? We got like a panel to access that. So it's kind of a feature. And we just had our floors redone too, and there was like a bunch of stain left over from the tile that was over top, but the company actually did come out and fixed it all actually today.
Oh, very good.
And it's looking great. So sometimes they fix it, sometimes they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
The other one was just, it was to help you in case it happens again, to get access so that you could unclog it yourself and save you money from having a professional come up, Brendan. So instead of being upset, you should be very thankful.
Yeah, that's the attitude I'm trying to take. When I saw that big hole, yeah.
But no, mine was similar. Yeah, we just had after 23 years in our house here, we had to put a new roof on. It was expensive. And then, lo and behold, they said, hey, all wrapped up. Everything's great. See you later. And then I was walking the dogs coming back in. I look up and on my trim board that was kind of hidden just a little bit, the whole bottom of one was like all cattywampus removed and looking nasty. And so, I contacted him and said, geez, looks like maybe there's a little issue here. And first they hit me with, well, that's looks like it was rotted. And I'm like, well, dudes, shocking that I walk my dogs here just about every day and look up there and everything was fine. Everything was great. Then this happens and it's a little damaged. So, they're trying to make me feel guilty. I'm like, it was fine 2 days ago. I don't rotted board, whatever you want to use. It was fine. Now it's not. So we finally got there, Brennan. But yes, same thing. We eventually ended up, they did a fine job of fixing it, but it took a little argument and trying to make me feel guilty, like I'm out pushing my luck on something that was rotted. Well, if it was rotted, what would you do, Brennan? You could kind of come to me as a homeowner and say, hey, we're looking at this roof and look at this spot here. Because they could have repaired it for me and charged me for it too, because they said they would do that kind of stuff. So don't argue with me, Brennan. You know what I'm saying? we'll have a little fisticuffs or something. Now we won't, but we got there, so it was all good.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little fighting to get there.
No negotiation, no fight.
Fight. All in good spirits.
Right.
Right. All right. Well, let's head into our scenario in good spirits.
Yes.
All right. So our scenario today was kind of, a typical scenario, just to give you a sense of what we're talking about when we're talking about faulty workmanship.
Right.
We're talking about the situation where there's some work done by a contractor.
Let's say the work is being performed. How about that?
Performed. There you go. Let's elevate the language.
Right.
That's performed by the contractor. There's damage to some kind of property, and there's maybe some resulting damage beyond that. And then you've got the contractor tendering the suit to its CGL insurer.
Right.
And the question is, So it's one of these situations where, does the insurance company owe that defense and indemnity? And that, is, we're in this world where it's not, we're talking about what are the allegations. So it's not necessarily, getting into the details of the facts. And we're just at that very first threshold of whose attorney is going to be showing up next to you here.
Right.
So the very first threshold of a case. Yeah. And the interesting question at the heart of all this is something we've talked about before on this podcast, gets at the real, what is the purpose of insurance?
Right. I've been paying my premium for years.
Yeah.
And then what's the purpose of this whole thing? Right.
Yeah. Well, is the purpose of when you bought insurance, is it going to indemnify and defend you for your own mistakes as a contractor?
Certainly.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about, in the CGL context, you don't want to necessarily incentivize, the kind of carelessness.
We're not guaranteeing anybody's work, and it's for accidents.
Yes.
Right. It's occurrences that happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So what? And you got that, again, let's get at that language, occurrence.
Yes.
If there's an occurrence, in the insurance world, then we're talking about a situation where defense and indemnity is owed, just roughly speaking.
Right.
So is there an occurrence? So let me, we can do a little bit of a game show style.
Ooh,
I'll throw you some scenarios.
Don't throw me, Brennan. I might get hurt.
Then we'll see who owes defense indemnity if you get hurt. So yeah, there you go.
You owe me because there's emotional distress there too, like we talked about last time. All right.
There you go. So let's say construction company builds a house in Alabama.
Ooh.
The house leaks when it rains.
Ooh.
The homeowner sues. The construction company wants their insurer to defend them.
Of course.
Is that an occurrence? What do you think?
The claim is for their actual stuff they worked on. Help me out again. I'm sorry, Brennan. I wasn't paying close enough attention. And this is serious, so I need to pay attention. So help me again. Alabama. Contractor.
So here we're talking about, they built a house.
They built
the whole house. Yeah. The first owner moved in, and they're finding leaks coming in, and there's this court kind of looking at the whole house holistically, right? Because it's a situation where they built the whole house, and the whole house is having damage. It's leaking when it rains. So it's not that kind of situation we'll get into later where it's like, they're working on a little piece of it. They built the whole house, and the whole thing's leaking.
So I would say the whole house would be your work product there. So, and you were performing an operation. I don't think there's any coverage there then, Brennan. This is your work. So
this is the majority view. It's on Alabama law. There was no occurrence because there's no fortuity. They did the work. They did it on purpose, and they just didn't do it well, allegedly.
So we didn't even have to get to exclusions, Brennan. You're right. We didn't even get past the insuring agreement, which is fascinating. So there was not an occurrence which caused property damage or bodily injury, so we don't even have to go further than the insuring agreement. Fascinating, sir.
There you go. I mean, that's going to be the majority view.
Okay.
There's going to be tons of complications, but just to give us a baseline, that's where the majority starts off.
Gotcha.
Now, let's compare that. Let's move to a different state.
Okay,
Let's
please.
move to Pennsylvania.
Oh,
construction company.
Alabama's so pretty. It's warm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We went earlier this year. The construction company builds a house in Pennsylvania. It leaks when it rains. The homeowner sues. Construction company wants their insurer to defend them. Is it an occurrence?
No.
Not under Pennsylvania law.
What?
That's the minority view.
Wow.
In this case, they said an incident is fortuitous if the insured's product actively malfunctions. That's a particular language in Pennsylvania law. But in general, there's a recent trend in cases adopting a more expansive construction of what constitutes an occurrence. Some states even have laws to the effect. In Colorado, says that a court interpreting a liability insurance policy shall presume that the work of the construction professional that results in property damage, including damage to the work itself or other work, is an accident unless the property damage is intended and expected by the insured.
Wow.
Yeah.
Broad.
Pretty broad. So just so you know, that's out there. A few states have that. You're going to want to check PLRB to see, before you even get very far into the analysis, you might be in a minority view state where, the actions of a contractor are protected like that.
I think, Brendan, that would get us then where you're past the insuring agreement then. So, okay, so it was an occurrence, but yeah, we'd still have potentially exclusions that might apply then, right?
Yeah. So that's sort of where you get into, we call them the J5, J6 exclusions.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Under the majority view, an insurance company does not owe a defense and indemnity for faulty workmanship. However, defective workmanship that damages others' property or damages work that is not the insured's work product can be an occurrence. Well, check out the show notes for key points from this episode and links to learn more at plrb.org. Subscribe and rate us, and we'll see you next time.
The views and opinions expressed in this resource are those of the individual speaker and not necessarily those of the Property and Liability Resource Bureau, its membership, or any organization with which the presenter is employed or affiliated. The information, ideas, and opinions are presented as information only and not as legal advice or offers of representation. Individual policy language and state laws vary, and listeners should rely on guidance from their companies and counsel as appropriate.